We made it to small town America. Welcome to the Show Me state of Missouri, where we'll be trying some proper Midwestern diner food, scrambling across ancient state park rocks, wandering the German hills of Heathman, and walking the riverfront streets that raised Mark Twain in Hannibal. And we're doing it all with our new mates, Paul, and Peggy, Triple P. This is an invitation to slow down, let loose, and let small town Missouri show us what it's been hiding all along. We are sick and tired of the big cities here. We've been going from one big city to the next big city and it's just been a headache. So today we're going to go on a road trip across Missouri with our good friend Paul, and he's going to show us some of the small towns of Missouri and our first experience of small town USA, small town America. So let's go and experience just that today. This is how you know you're in a small town in America, guys. So this is the fire department, the city hall, the chamber of commerce, the license bureau, and a couple of other things, all in one gorgeous old red brick building right here. Absolutely beautiful. The real America, in our opinion, is not in the cities that we've been showing you guys so far. We've been very focused on trying to show you the big blue cities and a lot of the failures that has been happening in them. And there's been a lot of failures happening in those big blue cities. But the real America is in these small towns. It's out in the nature, and this is where you're really going to meet the real character, I guess, of the US, in places like where we are right now. So we're very excited to be here and to finally see it for ourselves. Get these beautiful flags. Is this one here the state of Missouri? Yeah? So you've got the US, the state of Missouri, Germany. You know what this one is? The last one?
I think it just says open.
It's open. It's just open. What country is that?
That's the consumerism flag.
Yeah. Check this out. The Heathman honor roll from World War II. Honoring the people from this small town here in Missouri that would have fought in World War II. Fascinating to see all of the German names. So you would have Germans that would have emigrated to America and then would have fought in World War II against Germany. Crazy to think.
Welcome to Deutschheim, State Historic Site Tours and Gift Shop. I really wanted to go in here just to see. It's open. Just gonna walk in. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I've done that, and I was like,
Hey.
hi, how are you?
Very well, yourself?
Good, good.
Wow, you have a beautiful shop here.
Thank you.
Is it okay if I film?
Fine.
Yeah?
We have here, and then we have our library over there and our exhibits.
Ah, amazing.
We also do historic home tours. This house right here, which is right next door to us. It's the first brick, first two-story
Beautiful.
in Herman. And then the Straley house right up the street. They printed the first all-German newspaper west of the Mississippi. And as circumstances changed and the newspaper changed hands, they built what's called a home winery next door. And this is where they had a saloon upstairs. All the wine produced there, they didn't bottle. You came with your own container to take it home.
Oh, no way.
And at one point in history, there were numerous family wineries all through town. And this one's just about a 2-minute walk up the street.
Amazing. And was it called Deutschheim first and then it was transferred to Heathman, or?
Well, Deutschheim is the reference home of the Germans.
Yes.
And actually,
I'm from Germany. I'm
okay,
on visit.
Yeah. And actually, the French and the English called this area the Deutschheim.
Oh.
Because it was the home of the Germans. And the French and
That's
the English,
funny.
the Germans referred to them as the old Americans, because we've been Spanish, French, here, and so that's how they refer to them. But the French and the English would call this the Deutschheim.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm from Germany. My husband is from Ireland.
How are you? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
We're just
What
on
a
a
beautiful
visit.
town.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah.
And these are all for the biscuits.
For the Sprengelis, yeah.
Oh, amazing. I think we would make maybe speculatius, like the winter Christmas type of stuff with these. We still do it in Germany.
Yeah.
We use them like actively.
The only one we have that we call a speculatus, well, I don't even know if I see them here. This one.
Oh yeah.
See, there's
Oh,
more
it's beautiful.
space. Yeah.
It's for Nicolaus maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Saint Nicholas.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Or you can also make gingerbread with those.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful and
that's what I do. I make 450 gingerbread cookies for our cookie walk
Amazing.
at Christmas, and then they hit
Wow.
the shops and everybody gets a cookie. And
it's beautiful.
yeah, so I make it all gingerbread because there's too many people that make the Springerly. So
Amazing.
yeah.
Remember, we did the gingerbread before, but we do like a special kind of gingerbread that is not for eating. We just overbake it and
gingerbread.
Like a gingerbread house.
Yeah, exactly.
The
yeah.
gingerbread's a little hard to eat, but you can build with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we can make ornaments for the Christmas trees with these ones as well.
She does that.
These here, these are gingerbread cookie molds made by Christopher Ludwig, who, that one and this one.
Oh, they're
He
beautiful.
baked gingerbread for George Washington.
No way.
And so, and so these were cast off of his molds. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
I love those so much. Wow.
Oh, they're all made in German for $6.
Altdeutsche Weihnacht, Weihnacht in der Stuben,
Nuremberg,
Those all come from,
the Munich Christmas market.
Christkindlmarkt.
Yeah,
That's
we
so
order
cool to
those
see.
from Perth.
No way.
Yeah.
That's funny. Dresden.
She feels like she's at home.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Altdeutsche Weihnacht means Old German Christmas.
Oh.
It feels like there's more German culture left here than in Germany.
You may be right. You may be right. We work real hard at it here. Yes.
we're too progressive in Germany now, so we're losing it a little bit, unfortunately.
I volunteer at our museum at Schiller and Fourth, and we almost always have a German exchange student at our high school. It's just continuous. And so we talk about Hermann, you know, the folk hero in Germany, Hermann. And I pulled the student away and I go, does this ring anything in your mind, Hermann? They go, no.
No, when we came into the city, I saw the statue and I was like, who's that?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm fine. But it's funny because people that live here, Germans that have lived here all their lives, they're like, oh, everyone knows Hermann in Germany. But I'm thinking, it's not my experience,
Maybe
but that's
not,
okay. Yeah.
What a charming little town this is. Population here never actually exceeded more than 2,500 people, so it's a real authentic look into small town Missouri, small town America for us. This is special.
They have like a bakery or something?
This is America right here. So you have all of these gorgeous red brick, historical, German style, European looking houses. And then you have a freaking Subway sitting over there. Eat fresh. What? Ricky's chocolate box. They have chocolate dipped bacon.
Did you see my
Fresh dipped bacon.
Did you see my face? I was like, what?
That's very German, isn't it?
Sure.
Chocolate dipped bacon.
Very German.
Sehr lecker.
Sehr lecker. Oh yeah. But then you eat so much and then you start.
Yeah.
And you don't eat it anymore.
Ricky's chocolate box here in here in Herman. I can't even say that without laughing. The guy in there was high as a kite, so he wasn't very talkative. We were hoping to learn a little bit about the business, but we got some chocolate and it's sold by the pound, so we've got like about close to a pound of chocolate here, so a pound of chocolate for about $30.
Oh, nice.
Not bad. Herman is absolutely beautiful, and you're going to see all over Herman is the wine history. So this is actually wine country here in Missouri, and that was basically what built this place. It's what put sort of the name of Herman on the map, was wine. Stonehill Winery was the biggest one back in the day, around 1880 was kind of the height of it, 1880, and then all the way up until Prohibition, which you guys had here in the States. And when Prohibition came along, it really decimated the town and unfortunately caused a lot of issues in terms of industry, and probably a good few people had to move out, but population never really went above or below about 2,000 to 2,500. So this is a fascinating little town here, and it's amazing to see this side of America for the first time.
The old car.
The old cart, yeah. So cool.
I was just thinking it's.
I got a wild blueberry, white chocolate mountain. It looks really nice. I just got it because I read wild blueberry, so I was like, this must be something really nice. Oh. Wow. That's amazing. That's so tasty. You got the caramel turtle?
The turtles.
Turtle? I don't know why it's called a turtle.
I don't know either.
What's it like?
Lots
of caramel on the inside.
I bit the taffy thing, or whatever it's called on top. Sticks to your teeth.
Oh, nice. That's good that I asked you a question exactly now.
It's okay.
Wow.
Good though. Very good.
These are amazing. The wild blueberry thing is really tasty.
Wow, that looks wonderful.
I never had a wild blueberry in my life.
Yeah, me either.
Kind of hefty, like difficult to bite, but worth the effort.
That's what I just did when I bit that off. Right when I bit, I realized it was taffy. You know, real tough,
Nice.
brittle, whatever words I can't think of words.
Beautiful church up this way as well. It's nice to finally be in a part of America that has some common sense, not the big blue hectic cities. Feels nice. Fresh air in my lungs. Big peanut butter pretzels. America. The best view in town, I'd say, here in Herman. This is beautiful. Got some construction happening, but the church is at the highest point. What a gorgeous panoramic view over Herman. Let's check out the inside of the church.
We found ourselves a local Catholic church, St. George, and it's beautiful. It's from 1915, I believe. That's what it said on the outside. There's a lot of during the tour there, we were kind of walking around the houses, and I had read like lots of evangelical songbooks. So I kind of assumed everything here would be relatively evangelical or Lutheran. But we did found a little Catholic church from the looks of it. Very large as well. There's a lot of space for people. Oh, it's beautiful. I need to put down my chocolate. So the first few booths here actually are reserved for certain families.
Oh yeah.
Different families. It's so nice. Kind of strange to be here by ourselves.
You found Speckholz
I
again?
found Speckholz, yeah, I was making fun of it earlier. Speck means like bacon. Hals means neck, so it's like bacon neck. Yeah, I don't think that they would make it far in German secondary school.
Check out these incredible windows, guys. Absolutely beautiful artwork too. This is the thing that always gets me personally in the churches, is the attention to detail. Something that's missing nowadays in modern architecture and the way buildings are done. Back in the day when these windows would have been painted, or when a lot of the older churches in Europe would have been painted, and also here in America, they were inspired by God. They were inspired to worship something greater than the humans, that the human hands that were building. Nowadays, things are a lot more simplistic. They're done with a lot less of a purpose, a lot less of a meaning. It's more of just building a building to squeeze people into, rather than building something that is inspired by the actual beauty of creation. Almost feels like we're in a ghost town. There's nobody out and about. In a nice way, yeah. It has a charm to it, 100%. It is quiet, yeah, it's really quiet. There's the local school, St. George School, home of the Dragons. Fascinating to get a look at little Germany here in Missouri. That's what it literally felt like. I think Naomi actually felt like she was right at home in Herman, so that was absolutely beautiful. And to be somewhere where only you have like 2,000, 2,500 people, that's ridiculous to be able to just walk around there, because we wouldn't be able to do it without our good friend Paul here, and having the wheels behind us and getting us around. So now we're on our way through the countryside. We're going deep. We're actually into a place called Montgomery County now, and over there in Herman, believe it or not, back in the slave days, because they only grew grapes and it was known for wineries and stuff like that, and that was kind of what put Herman on the map. They had very little slaves actually back there, so they would have only had like maybe a handful to help picking the grapes. But over here in Montgomery, they had a lot more slaves, so they had tobacco, cotton, corn, and all of that stuff, so all of the labor crops. So out here there would have been probably a lot of slaves were kept here. It's a fascinating little piece of history that I picked up on that tour there that I didn't even think about. I didn't think that grapes didn't require people or much of a workforce behind it, so yeah, something to think about. But the surroundings here are absolutely gorgeous.
You gotta be in these little towns with the police. You gotta be careful, like speeding through here, because they're just looking for a reason to stop somebody and give them a ticket.
I'd say the police out here, yeah, they haven't got much to do.
Yeah,
they're probably just waiting for someone from someone from the city or whatever to drive through, and they're just hoping to make some quick arrest.
Some of the shops have signs in the windows saying no data center.
Oh,
you think they want to put data centers?
Probably want to put a data center
somewhere
here.
out here. I think Google, they wanted to put a big data center in St. Charles County, and the people were raising all kinds of heck about it, and the council of the county or whatever they voted to ban them.
Yep.
I think we were the first in America county to ban those data centers.
Nice.
Because they're so bad, they're terrible for the environment.
Yeah.
And from what I understand.
Yeah, they use up so much energy.
Yeah.
And water, I believe, it's very bad for the local water reservoirs.
Crazy. I was thinking, I saw on the map that place there, Montgomery City.
Yeah.
It's called Montgomery City, but we literally drove through it in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a tractor supply.
Oh, there's a tractor supply.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're in the sticks. Yeah. Welcome to Wellsville. Population about 1,200 people.
They're all at home.
And they're all at home. There's the public library we just drove past. Crazy. They have their own mascot, even though there's only like 1,200 people. It's crazy. It's fascinating. A lot of these places you cover them literally within the space of maybe 100 meters, and and then you're back to just open land.
They do have a gas station here.
Yeah, one.
But I
gas
think
station.
no supermarket probably, just a gas station.
Just a
We
gas-
haven't seen a supermarket or any other shop really. We're currently on the Avenue of Saints, which is a 563-mile long road that connects St. Louis to St. Paul in Minnesota. So that's why it's kind of called the Avenue of the Saints. You have the two saints there, and it's supposed to increase safety and reduce travel time, which is a really cool place to be, because we are kind of signs all over the sides of the road that just say Avenue of the Saints. We got a little bit interested there and started Googling about what that actually is.
So this road basically leads to Somalia, to Minnesota.
I didn't think about that. I was like, why is he saying that? That doesn't make any sense, but yeah, it makes sense.
Going to Somalia, boys.
Off to Somalia we go.
Look at this. The amount of effort that goes into just this. It's probably being spun by the wind, but this is cool.
Ah, the Mark Twain dinette
Jeanette.
is going round and round.
Mark Twain dinette. Yes, Lord. We're right here on
What?
the Mississippi River.
What differentiates a diner from a dinette?
This is a small diner.
Is that what it is? It looks pretty big.
Is that what a dinette is? A small diner?
That's what it's supposed to be, I think. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think the root beer is feeling dizzy up there?
Yeah, wow.
It's been going in circles for years and years.
Yeah, sure. Check this out. Riverboat, Mississippi riverboat. This has made my day right here.
Onion rings with homemade sauce. Why are you laughing? Are you laughing about
The way
me?
you said that. Onion rings with homemade sauce.
This is my first time eating onion rings in the US. They're actually really nice.
Good rings.
And the sauce is really good too. Here, shut it. Stop sitting in the dark corner laughing.
That's very good sauce.
Yeah.
They have homemade root beer here as well. That's the reason for the rotating root beer out there.
Is that poutine?
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. They have poutine.
And I got poutine. Shout out to all my Canadians out there. We got some poutine.
It looks really nice. It's kind of fries with
Cheese curds.
fried cheese curds and gravy.
Fried cheese curds, brown gravy, and fries. Nothing groundbreaking here, guys. Everything beige. This is unreal.
Are the cheese curds squeaky? We heard that the cheese curds need to be squeaky in order to be considered good cheese curds.
Yeah, try this out. It's rich, dense, heavy food.
I wasn't ready to try.
It's very good. The gravy's very nice too. Yeah, it's like a
That's
small,
really tasty.
like a comfort food. This is the thing that
Amazing.
for me, when I think of like states like Missouri, and this is why we're so happy to get out and explore small towns like we are right now. I think about soul food, comfort food, real people, real food, and this is exactly what this is.
A guy wearing a cowboy hat just walked in.
Cowboy just walked in, dungarees and a cowboy hat. It doesn't get cooler than that.
That's the first time in my life seeing a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I got myself a catfish sandwich, so fried catfish on a roll. I assume tartar sauce, coleslaw, and Luke has gotten himself a burgie
I got a Missouri burger.
and potato salad.
The burger made in Missouri.
You want to give your
Sorry, I'm trying my
Missouri
best.
burger?
I'm trying my best with the Missouri accent here. Am I doing a good job?
It sounds like it to me.
We're here in Missouri.
I don't think I can even do that, but I wouldn't know how.
Look at that. What am I doing to myself here? Look at the size of this thing. Everything I'm getting so far here in Missouri is like the size of my head, but it all tastes amazing. So I think this is like kind of just a concoction of what they have, and then they put it into a burger.
Just everything on there.
Oh my god. Oh, it's like pulled pork
Looks good.
on a burger.
Really?
With coleslaw. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Heavy on the barbecue sauce. I think I'm gonna be very, very slow after this. The fat content on that is insane. Naomi went for the fried catfish. You get
It's,
fried catfish sandwich.
Something that I haven't said since Thailand, I think.
Yeah.
Last time I had
Last
catfish
time we had
was...
catfish was Thailand.
Yeah.
Oh man, the crisp. with catfish.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's like an ASMR video.
And it's huge. They even have this little shop attached to the Annette, but I believe they are Kansas City Chiefs fans up here. Someone in Hannibal, Missouri loves me. What a nice place. And you also see lots and lots of the Bigfoot stuff around here. Like there's lots of fields kind of where you have these like pop-up statues that look like the Bigfoot, like the shape of the Bigfoot. It was really funny to see him kind of around when you're driving down the street. Ooh. I love these fidgets. What a place to be. The food was very nice, but plentiful. Plentiful. I think the next time, if we ever do come back to the Mark Twain dinner, we are gonna order only one thing, not an appetizer and a main next time though. Now we're just gonna walk down to the Mississippi River. Hey guys, there's a wax museum and haunted house here. They actually have a skeleton in a very odd shape up here, and they only want 150,000 for the wax museum. And there's also the spirit of Christmas and Halloween in there. They want 150,000.
150 grand?
Yeah.
To buy a haunted house?
In Mark Twain's hometown.
Yeah, Mark Twain's hometown.
Close to the Mississippi River. I mean, location is everything here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the Earth Cam. There it is. The Earth Cam view is right.
Oh yeah, there's the Earth Cam.
I know I've seen it before, and I'm like, where have I seen this? To be honest with you, I've never got out really and walked around here. I've driven through Hannibal. I've never been down here.
Yeah.
This is Becky Thatcher's home. Sawyer's first sweetheart, so it was like kind of the sweetheart of Tom Sawyer in the actual story of Tom Sawyer Huckleberry Finn. This is where Becky Thatcher actually lived, and I think Becky Thatcher, from what I've read, she's a real person. It was modeled after, like it was written after a real person that lived here.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being Tom Sawyer's ex-girlfriend and then you get a sign and you're like not with him anymore?
Welcome to the banks of the Mississippi River at Hannibal. Absolutely stunning. And over here you've got some Mississippi River boats, much newer versions than the ones we would have seen in the little Mark Twain diner. This is bucket list stuff for us right here. In terms of destination, being on the banks of the Mississippi River, such a powerful historic river that has basically carried many of the things that have quite literally built the amazing country of the USA. It's insane. Yeah, it's like
You're gonna build a float and go down the river?
Being here on the water, it's like really inspirational, because like it makes you think about all of the people that have went on like these big adventures on this river. We're gonna get some 4x4s and fashion a boat, and
yeah, and off you go.
We're gonna go down.
Commandeer one of those decks or docks.
I'm sure it's really nice here in the summertime.
I wonder where does the Mississippi, where does it run to? Obviously it goes through Mississippi,
it merges
and then
with the Missouri River.
all the way out into the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah. Or now it's the Gulf of America.
The Gulf of America, yeah, I forgot about that.
But
the
only
Gulf
for
of America
Americans.
now.
On our Google Maps it doesn't say Gulf of America.
Yeah, again, that's kind of just silly to me. Little petty stuff like that.
That's a new thing. That's actually a good idea. Maybe we can do that as our next series. You can make a boat and go from the Mississippi all the way to the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
In one video.
Well, there's a couple bands from here down, but from St. Louis you go and do it on a machine. I know that.
We're just going past now probably one of the coolest cars that I've seen since we've arrived here in America. It's like a old Ford, but it's still running.
Open the window, you can hear the sound.
Yeah, true. That's real Americana right there. Ford muscle cars, all of this good stuff. The real sort of like powerful engines That's what I think of when I think of American cars
they have
and
a little
Mustangs.
car
They have a car, like a car meet actually.
Oh yeah, Corvette. So
No way.
just go through the parking lot real fast.
That's so cool. Oh, they have all of the muscle cars.
There we go. That's an old 67 it says.
Wow.
I'll go through there real quick.
That's really cool.
I don't know why they have like the new Chargers and stuff. The Dodge Chargers.
Open the window a bit. Careful, there's a kiddo running.
Yeah, those are insane.
They're doing the lazy way.
Oh, the SS Chevelle.
My friend had a 69 Chevelle Super Sport. That's
Beautiful.
so weird on that.
The Challengers.
Yeah, look at the lights.
So cool. Beautiful cars.
Did we see that earlier? I think we saw
Yeah.
this earlier on the road.
That's gorgeous.
The Corvette's for sale.
Oh, that's for sale.
It looks like
a Batmobile.
Oh, yeah, it does. It's like the American
Na 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 na.
We're getting some.
Welcome everybody to Elephant Rocks State Park, and the very first state park for Naomi and I here in the United States of America. These are granite rocks. It actually used to be a quarry here. It goes back millions of years, believe it or not. So long before the United States of America became a country, these rocks were here. And we're here deep in the countryside of Missouri, experiencing some of the real natural beauty of the Midwest. And it is an absolutely beautiful day here.
The New Madrid Fault,
Oh,
and it was a magnitude 8.1, and it actually made the Mississippi River flow backwards.
whoa.
And then the bells in Boston were ringing from here.
Wow. It must have come. How big of an earthquake was it?
8.1,
8.1. Oh,
and this is hard ground; it doesn't give.
yeah.
So it was pretty. One hole got so big, it swallowed a river and created a lake.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's getting much prettier the higher we go up.
Check this out, you guys. Somebody engraved their name here on January 25th, 1893. I heard somebody say that was kind of like the people that used to look after these parks, like the park rangers more or less. But yeah, you can find these inscriptions all over the park with different names, different dates, and it's kind of really cool to see.
It tells you how much that rock weighs, 127,000 tons.
Oh.
How do they know that?
They put a scale under it, the kitchen scale. Wow. There you go, 127,000.
That is funny.
Oh, and more inscriptions here as well. February 1893. That's some old school graffiti right there for
The
you.
quarry workers carved their names into. That's who did it.
The quarry workers. This is so beautiful here. It actually is so beautiful that it kind of feels fake. I keep thinking that to myself, but it seems like it's so nicely arranged with the rocks and everything and the nature and all of that. So I kind of like, in my head, it's like this entertainment park, you know, where everything was accurately placed in a specific space. But no, it's all nature, obviously, other than the trail itself. It's really nice to be here. Can't imagine when all of this here is in full bloom. How pretty that must be. Once you get over allergy season, of course.
You can see these ridges down here. You really want to be careful actually while you're walking. As you're walking, you'll just have like these literal 6-7 feet, maybe 10 feet drops that just cut straight through the middle. So you have to be careful. But up here you've got like full 360 panoramic views.
Well, you don't have that one. Annalise has the worst accent.
Doesn't get much better than this, and entirely free of charge as well, by the way. You can just literally drive up here with your car, park your car, hop out, and you're already in that the state park. Some state parks you have to pay an entry fee and all this other stuff, but this is entirely for free to just go off, wander, and get deep into nature, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
Now see, this
Strawberry Festival.
is a really small little town.
Yeah, this is real small town America.
It's a bed and breakfast.
Yeah. Customer parking. See, bonus food and maybe they can park here.
Look at that for a house.
Oh, I didn't tell you yet. I was
I love the houses.
a mailman for 42 years.
A mailman? Whoa.
And
So you know this place like the back of your hand,
Yeah.
then?
He used to deliver.
And my dad was, my grandpa was, my sister, my brother-in-law, 2 of my uncles, my mom.
Wow.
We were all.
They took
Runs in the family, that's so cool.
Male people.
Mail carriers.
But after a while, when all of us were working there, I said, we can talk about anything but work.
Yeah.
So we all, they start going on about it. I said, let's talk something else.
You probably have some crazy stories then, no?
Well, I'd say
lot of stuff you probably see.
Well, I got bit 6 times.
Yep.
And the worst one was, the worst 2 was a Rottweiler and a Pit Bull. Those were the 2 worst.
Pit bulls are horrible with that.
Well, I'll give you, if you've never been bit by one, this is what it's like. When he bit me, it was like if you had a 8-pound sledgehammer with a nail on it and put my arm on the table and hit me as hard as you can. That's what it feels like. He bit right to the bone instantly.
Oh,
Yeah, true.
that's horrific.
And I was lucky he let go.
Yeah, because usually they get locked on
Sometimes
as well.
you can drag you around.
Yep. How was the damage from it? Did it take long to heal?
No, the Rottweiler was actually worse because the Pit Bull got me in the meaty part of my arm and it bruised my bone, but it was just weeks. I got bit on the ankle when the Rottweiler went through a screen door and got me on the ankle and bit me 3 times and was chewing on it, and it was months before I felt
to
better.
recover, yeah.
We had lots of industry downtown and factories, and we had shoe companies, steel companies, clothing manufacturers, and they started closing up.
To leave, yeah.
And we got a problem there too. We had unions here, and then down south has what's called as right to work, no unions.
Yep.
And so they started sending all the stuff down there. Well, now we're sending it to other countries, but that's how it started. And so when there wasn't no work, everybody started moving out, and then it never got built back up.
When did all the crime start? Because I know that like St. Louis is always kind of listed in the top 5
okay,
for
now,
crime. Yeah.
North St. Louis is where all the crimes.
That's where all of it is. Yeah.
It's black on black for the most part.
Yep.
And they attribute it to the whole city. You could go everywhere, and there's nothing.
Yep.
But you go there's shootings every night of the week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so it counts against us, but you don't hear that part. And carjacking.
Carjacking is big as well, yeah.
That's the Merrimack River.
The Merrimack. Wow. Oh, that's a beautiful river.
No. Oh, and you don't want to swim in that though, because of the undercurrent. A lot of people have drowned in it.
Oh.
So it's okay if you have a life jacket on, but there's undertow there, and
it'll pull you under fast.
If you're not a good swimmer, I don't think I'd hold your breath to wait to come out. Now, when I was a kid, this was country.
All this was country, yeah?
Yes, this was farm fields.
Oh, wow. Starting to be more built up now.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah. It's a lot of sort of suburbs and stuff now.
Yes, it's just, the city just spread out.
Wow.
And it's continuing to go. You have to get more than 25 miles out of the city to start open up your elbows. From East St. Louis, they have the train that comes across the river.
Yep.
So these people come from the bad part of Illinois, come here and steal and hop on the train and leave.
And that's the reason why all the retail is leaving the city.
Yes. It's not because of St. Louisans.
Wow. What is the deal with East St. Louis? Because we've heard that it's really bad there.
You can drive, just don't slow down at the stoplights, just kind of roll through them, because you could get, especially at night,
you can get carjacked while you're in the car. Wow.
They surround you, or they'll bump you, hit your car so they can get out and then steal your car and maybe kill you.
Well, see, they lost all their industry, and now so it's only the poorest of the poor, a bunch of druggies and drunks, and
It's generational.
And it's generational.
Generational. Okay.
It's been that bad since I was a kid.
You have like thousands of caves, right?
Yes. It's a shame we couldn't have took you to a beautiful cave.
I know it's called the Cave State, and you're also called the Show Me State.
Yes, because if you said something, I didn't believe you unless you showed me. Show me first. We didn't trust people.
Skeptical,
Yes, you show me.
That's the right way to be.
Because we always believe seeing is believing. You can say whatever you want, but show me. And I hope you don't, that's a part of me that is just, it actually is all of me now.
Yeah. Less
of me, more of him, and I'm happy. Well, all right, this is the way I like to explain eternal security. We are in the body of Christ, right?
Yep.
But all believers are in his body. And it's not a building, it's his spiritual body everywhere on earth.
Yep.
So it's not in a building, but it's in people, and we're all connected with his spirit.
It's in his creation.
Yes. So, and so about losing your salvation. Okay, so I do a sin. Well, he's already paid for it. Now I do confess it to him, not a priest.
Yep.
I say, because I'm in communion with him.
Yep.
And so if I'm in his body, will he ever throw part of his body away? Say, oh, my finger sinned, you're gone, cut it off. You don't do that. He don't throw his body away.
Yeah.
He might discipline that part of his body that was being bad, but he don't cut it off, so you don't lose your salvation by falling short anymore.
Yes. Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Okay, well, here's 1 John 1:9. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So you need to confess it when you do something wrong. And then in the 5th chapter, it says, these things are written that you may know you have eternal life.
Yep.
He who has the Son has life. He who has not the Son has not life, but the wrath of God abides upon him. So if you have the Son, you do have eternal life. If I in him and he in me, that we may be one. That's John chapter 17. So we're buried with him in the baptism of his death, and we're also raised with him by faith. So that's why Paul could say, I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ lives with me. In the life that I now live, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. So when I do good now, it's because it's Christ in me living out of me. So because we have two natures. The one we're born with, which has a sinful nature, and the one you're reborn with, which is the nature of God, the Spirit of God. So if I walk in the Spirit, I won't carry out the desires of the flesh. So anything I do good now, it's not Paul doing it, it's Christ doing it through me.
Wow.
Because I submit myself and say, not my will, but yours be done. Not what I want, but what you want. Not my words, but what you want me to say. So everything is going through him. And so that's why I said, I have to, like John the Baptist said, I must decrease so he can increase. So even in my life, less of Paul and more of him. And I want them to say, well, remember when after Jesus was gone, the Pharisees told him not to, in the book of Acts, he said, quit speaking in this man's name. And he said, we're only testifying what we've seen and heard. And then they had a council and they said, these guys aren't just stupid fishermen. They could tell they had been with Jesus.
Yeah.
So I want to be known as one of his disciples and not telling you what my opinion, but what he said. Gift. And he said, by faith, so God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. So when a person is redeemed, a ransom is paid.
Yep.
And so it says at another place, it says, you have not been redeemed with silver or gold, but you have been redeemed with the precious blood of Christ. So by his blood, so he gives me forgiveness if I confess my sins. His blood covers my sins, so he doesn't see them anymore. When the blood covers my sin, he doesn't see my sins anymore. And he actually says, as far as the east is from the west, so will I take my sin away from you. I will throw him in the depths of the sea to be remembered no more. So when I put my faith in him, that he died in my place, his blood covers my sin, and he looked down from the cross and said, Father, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing. I knew what I did, so I confessed what I did. And he said, come unto me, all you who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.